G4 finally got shut down. They pulled the plug. It was on life support for the last, shit, like 6 months. Which is a shame. I think they had a lot of talented people there. Like Austin and Will. But man, they were fucking struggling. Like, it wasn't going too hot for their internet presence. I don't know what their TV ratings were like, but the reason they shut down was directly because of low numbers. Like, the viewership was in the actual shitter. So they couldn't sustain themselves, and Comcast pulled the plug. G4 wasn't still around. They brought it back less than a year ago. Well, actually, a little over a year ago. G4 was around when I was growing up. Went away in like 2012 or something? And then they brought it back last year. And it didn't even make it like a full year. Thanks for the 10 gift subs. Animatic. I appreciate that. In the Prime Lightning Storm, CAD, and Tier 3 Trooper 12. Thank you for that. Welcome aboard. Recent powers. True One Piece. Oh, super wholesome. Thanks for the kind words, Leroy. Thanks to Prime, Cuz, and Bandit. Now I got no tips, Adina, but wishing you the best. G4 was a very popular television channel when I was growing up. It was like the first gamer-focused group. So they had things like X-Play, they had things like Attack of the Show, Code Monkeys for a little while, and it was just all around like gaming. Eventually it just became like a cops rerun channel, but it started as like, here's some gamer shit. And it didn't make the transition to the internet age, so it got taken off air, and then they brought it back about a year ago, trying to capitalize on like how big gaming has become online, but it didn't make it. It fell off really hard. It had a pretty triumphant return. It had a good streak of people like caring and watching and engaging, but it just steadily fell off. Are big gaming YouTube networks all dying, e.g. Rooster Teeth? I don't think it's necessarily like all big gaming things like that, because you can find plenty of examples of those things that aren't dying. Not exactly one-to-one here, but Vanoss, right? Like, just a group of people playing games and doing shit, like, that's still around and doing okay. But when you have things like G4TV and Rooster Teeth that just, I don't know, just deliver the same thing, I guess, and don't adapt, and I don't know, I don't even know exactly what to pinpoint it to. It just becomes less interesting. There's so much other content now. But G4 in particular had good, like, talented people working for them. And they did have good content too. Like Austin Show. Name your price, right? But it wasn't enough to carry the rest of the weaker catalog. He's a tier 1 No Stranger, tier 1 Animatic, tier 1 Bum, tier 1 Zoe in the Prime, Athblue, Cam, and Sarazu. There's some Sharpie, Squirrel, Aries, Garnome, Minute, Posty, and the Bit Space. Yeah, I was already talking about the Bayonetta stuff earlier. I'll talk about it again, I guess. I already finished Scorn. Streamed it 2 days ago. Younger generation, G4's target audience doesn't watch TV anymore. I think it was a bit of a misstep to go back to TV kind of content. I don't think that's ever going to catch on again. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with making it more TV focused kind of stuff. They need to go harder on like actual internet content, I'd say. But yeah, there was a lot of shit. I saw a lot of people saying that shame on Comcast for pulling the plug. And I hate Comcast as much as the next guy. I think they're one of the shittiest companies in America. But this was a totally understandable decision. this had no viewership anymore. Like there was just no way they could keep it up. Couldn't sustain itself. Thanks, Resub, Pizza Man, Repzion, Schlurb, Hesu, Joey, Chicken, and Tier 1 Drippler. I'm hoping that's not the case, Jay. From everything I've heard, it seems we'll get into the Amaranth stuff a bit deeper in a minute.